this week or day or whatever, I don't know. That's not important. I've seen a few people talking about passing tones, and I kind of wanted to go over a little thing on that I thought about. And if I'm wrong on any of this stuff, tell me. I don't know everything. I like to say I do, but that's how I find out who knows what they're talking about and who doesn't. So, now I've seen a few people refer to passing tones as any note outside of the scale, which is right. But something that I think is overlooked a little bit is that it's not necessarily if you change the note, it's how often it reoccurs. I would say it would be a passing tone if it just happens once or twice. But if the whole phrase or the whole solo or whatever it is has that passing tone in it all the time, I would say that's not a passing tone anymore. That's a different scale. Because if you're playing like over something that would be like harmonic minor or frigid bone. A way you could do something like that with instead of playing harmonic minor, use Hungarian minor. All that is harmonic minor with a raised fourth. So just instead of there, raise it up a whole step, half step. Sorry. Now, if you play the whole solo with that, I would say you're playing in Hungarian minor. But if you just did it just one time, or if sprinkled it out, then I would consider it a passing tone. Also, the blues scale, that would be that's another thing. Hungarian minor isn't adding a note; it's just changing a note. The blues scale is adding a note, like a passing tone, where you're adding an extra note to that scale, but it still makes it into. You could add the blue note, like this. What is it, the fourth? I want to say. Every once in a while as a passing tone, but if you would use it all the time, I would consider it using the blues scale. If that makes sense. And you can use any interval. If you're using a scale, you can use any interval for a passing tone, but it's just like any other note. Each note you change is going to change the mood or the key or maybe the position you play it in, or maybe a certain effect you're trying to get through with that phrase. Now here I'm going to do some name dropping. Guthrie Govan said that you want to land after your passing tone, your whatever it is, if it's something that makes it a little more dissonant or something that pulls your ear a different way, to land, make sure you have good key notes around it, so it doesn't sound like you just hit the wrong note. Which is fine. Another way of it is Marty Friedman. I heard him say, as long as you're conscious of the root note, the key. Now this goes a little bit past passing tones. If you decide to play just some random dissonant stuff for whatever reason, as long as you can come back to whatever the root note is, either of the song or of that chord, it changes you just noodling to actually kind of, when they hear you coming back to whatever the root note is, that kind of, I would say, makes it sound more like you know what you're doing, So two slightly different trains of thought, but the same effect happens. So, and there's some other people that are big with passing tones. Jeff Loomis, he had passing tones all the time. It gives it a real smooth sound, but it also breaks it up. So you're not using like straight diminished or straight, how you play it not just what note you pick, but how you play it. If you decide to pick that note on purpose to make it stand out, that could be, that could be good. Or if you want to, because Jeff usually likes to do it, where he's kind of, just kind of, almost like he's just falling down the scale. Not quite, playing it, but he goes up and so far, or an up an arpeggio, and he just kind of, sounds like he's just falling over the fretboard, but he lands on the right notes, and it sounds really cool. Sean Lane, just about any of the jazz is, mostly passing tones. But, so those are my thoughts on it. If I'm wrong or anybody has any other ways of explaining it or any other ideas, please share. That's what I came up with, so take it for what it's worth, and good luck.